Welcome to the play ratings as Dee and I discuss the Palace 1 Stockport 0 FA Cup third round match today. Dee, you're at the game, so very quickly, your thoughts on the match.
Absolutely. I don't know. I found it boring. I don't want to sound negative, but it was boring. It was boring for me, but it is what it is. This should be, in theory, one of the quickest player ratings we've done, but let's see how it pans out.
Bro, I hear you. So let's start with the goalkeeper, Matt Turner. You gave him a 7, I gave him a 7. I'll go first. Clean sheet, his first ever game at Sellers Park. I just watched his post-match interview. He's played at Sellers Park now twice. He's got 2 clean sheets. Last year he played against us when he was at Forest. He got a 0-0. So that's 2 for him, 2 for 2 for him. To me, clean game, 80% passing, 4 saves. Had 1 save to make, really, the Oleafe save when Gahey and Richard had that little mix-up. That aside, pretty clean. Your thoughts on Turner?
Yeah, he got called up on a few times, not mainly because of the opposition good play, mainly because of our poor defending. But when he did, he was decent. He made a few, good saves that he had to make because of our errors. And I thought he had a solid game. You can't really give anything lower than 7, in my opinion, because he played a part to the clean sheet. He was involved, as I said, because of our mistakes, and he stepped up. And yeah, it was a good performance from him.
Agree. Today's new left wing back, Nathaniel Klein, both gave him a 5. You go first.
Yeah, there isn't much to add. I literally said it in the match preview. Lou said that, he can play left wing back. And in theory, yes, he can, as we saw it today. But it's very limited. It's very limited. It doesn't suit the system at all. He doesn't have the left foot. It's easier to defend against. You can do it against Stockport, but in my opinion, we need another left wing back ASAP because, even today, he attacked. He was in good positions, but it's more about the end product than being an actual threat. So yeah, I thought it was a average, decent, an average performance, like 5 out of 10. Left foot, of course, is going to be a struggle, but yeah, there isn't much really to talk about Kleiny. Defensively, he didn't have too much bad things.
I'm with you. Definitely emphasize the fact we need a left wing back cover from Ty. I'm glad Ty got a rest. That's the best thing came out of today for me. He got the rest for the day. But Kleiny, again, puts the effort in, but left side, he's too awkward, doesn't have a left foot, cuts back to play the ball sideways and backwards every time. Passing was good today, 94%, but not really a threat going forward. But again, standard 5. So it is what it is. Our right wing back, Danny Munoz, both gave him a 6. I'll go first. Very good going forward. Very attacking. Had 4 out of 4 tackles, 9 recoveries, 82% passing, 86 touches. Involved in the game, much more right-sided today than we were left-sided. But again, you mentioned before, didn't have much to do defensively because Stockport didn't really threaten us that much. But your thoughts on Munoz?
Yeah, I think defensively that was where there was some questions asked, but going forward, he was involved, especially in the second half. He got up a bit more, in my opinion, than he did in the first half. First half was mainly playing it down the left-hand side, so he wasn't really required as much, even though there was a good ball into the box. I can't remember who done it. And I think he was at the far post and he narrowly missed it. I think it was Munoz in the first half. But yeah, defensively, a bit shaky at times, but overall, I thought he was solid. I thought he was solid in possession, especially going forward.
Yeah, next, Chaddy Riyad. First game since August, first team. Your thoughts on Chad? You gave him a 6, I gave him a 7.
He looked a bit shaky at times. I don't know about you. To be fair, the whole back three, I wasn't overly impressed with. I mean, he was the best out of the rest. Maybe Richards was there as well. Gay, he will talk about, he really stood out for not for good reasons. But I'm excited. To have him back because I do think there's a play in him. Look, it's his first game back after injury, so I'm not really expecting that much out of him. I thought he had a solid performance. But I think in general, our back line, especially the back three, it just didn't feel right. And that's probably down to game time and not playing together with each other and also playing different positions as well. So yeah, it was an overall decent performance considering the circumstances that he's had to come back from.
I get what you're saying, but I gave him a 7 because, again, it's his first match for the first team since that Norwich game. Really tough injury. To come back, to me, he was very solid today. Again, what I like about him, you can tell that he's a progressive player. looks to pass the ball forward a lot and drive the ball forward. Try to hit that long ball down the channel to Klein. Unfortunately, Klein couldn't do much with it. But 91% passing today, 113 touches, 4 out of 11 long balls. Again, that didn't really work out for him. 2 recoveries, 2 clearances. But to me, for a guy who hasn't played in 3-4 months, first team, I thought he was very good today. So that's why I gave him that 7. Next person on my back 3. Let's go to Richards. You gave him a 5. I gave him a 6.5. I'll tell you why. I'll go first on this one. I thought for him, different. Playing in the center of the 3, not playing left or right is different for him. So he adjusted pretty well to that. 93% passing, 122 touches, 2 out of 2 long balls, 6 clearances. But again, he did make that big mistake when Gehi made that back pass to him and Oluwafe tackled Richards, and then he had the shot that turned made a good save on. Besides that, maybe a couple of slips, but I think, listen, he's part of a clean sheet. He wasn't a perfect performance, but I think for a new back 3, to me, he was the best of the 3. Let's put it as good as Riyadh was today. So that's why I gave him a 6.5.
Yeah, I gave the 5 because of the mistake, and you've pretty much summed it up. To be fair, I don't even have to add much to it. There was that mistake. The back 3 was shaky, but he wasn't as bad in my opinion as the likes of Gehi today, who really stood out. I don't know why, but yeah, decent performance. He was not playing in his usual role, but I thought he done a solid enough job, and thankfully it didn't cost us any of the mistakes.
Fair enough. Mark Gehi. You gave him a 5. I gave him a 5.5. You go first on Gehi.
Where do we start? He just didn't look comfortable down the right hand side. I think that's pretty much it. He didn't look comfortable in and out of possession. There was some balls over the top. Looked a bit shaky. There could have been a few fouls that could have been given on another day. And yeah, look, he's been playing down the opposite side on the left all season long. He had to play down the right today. And he just didn't really suit him. We've spoke about this with Richards so far this season as well. Like, Richards playing on the right hand side is not the same as Richards playing down the left hand side. So yeah, I think that impacted him, and luckily we kept the clean sheet, but we could have, given away a few goals because of Gehi, which sounds the total opposite to what we're normally used to with him. So yeah, I think it was a bit sloppy at times.
No, you're fair. Definitely didn't look comfortable playing on the right hand side, even though, funny enough, he's a right foot player, but you could tell he's a player like prefers to play on the left of the 3. I'm not having the quad there, probably put him off 2, but again, having Richards and Riyadh, different back 3 for him, not used to it. And you're right, he could have cost us. There was one foul at the end on Oluwafe. The referee didn't call a foul, but I thought he pulled the guy down at the edge of the box and he didn't call the foul. So definitely not his best game. And but again, part of a clean sheet, so I'm not going to absolutely kill him, but definitely not one of his better games today for sure. Let's go to the midfield. Jefferson Lerma. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 6. I'll go first, if you don't mind. Solid game for him. He had 95 touches, 83% passing, won 9 duels, most in the game. 3 shots on goal, 5 out of 5 ground duels, 5 out of 5 ground duels, 6 recoveries. Had a great chance to score at the end. My goodness. Gets the breakaway. Great ball by Kamada. 1-on-1 the keeper. Sells the keeper. Sends the keeper to the shops and hits the ball over the bar with the left foot. I mean, really poor. That side, he was good. But that miss brought him down at least a point for me. But your thoughts on Lerma today?
He's limited going forward, Lerma. And that's the reality of the situation. Very good defensively. Very physical. Good in the air. But when he's on the ball, when he's attacking, that's where his limitations are. So for me, that miss was very poor, even by his standards in terms of what I expect from him. But I mean, he's just like a normal Lerma game. Like, he's just limited. Defensively, it was good. But yeah, that's why I gave him a 6. I mean, that we should have scored. We could have scored 2-3 goals today, despite the game being very boring.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go to my man of the match. I know who you picked, but Kamada. You gave him a 7, I gave him a 7.5. You want to go first on Kamada?
Yeah, ever since the red card, he's been good, in my opinion. Like, majority of the times. I know he has like 1 or 2 mistakes during the game, which is like, why are you making that pass? There's some very dumb decisions. But if you take that away from the whole performance, yeah, look, he looks solid. He's, bringing players in, great first touch, trying to slip players through as well. I think it was him that slipped through Nathaniel Klein in the first half. So yeah, overall, I've been happy with Kamada. I know a lot of people still are against him. I think naturally so people have made up their decisions based on how he performed when he first joined us. But quietly, he's been a decent squad player. And I think he should still remain as a squad player. I don't think he's been good enough to be a starter. But it's good to have players that could, have influence on games like that. And today, when we're talking about performance and not being that great, to be fair, and Palace just getting through 1-0, he was one of the most standout players. He wasn't shy to get on the ball. He got on the ball. He created stuff, and yeah, look, it was a solid performance from him. That's why I gave him a 7.
Yeah, I'll go with stats first and why my man of the match, and I'll go to the eye test next. So, created 3 chances, 85% passing, 82 touches, 9 into the final third, 2 out of 2 accurate long balls, 2 out of 2 tackles won, 8 recoveries, 2 out of 3 ground duels. And remember, he played in the middle. He did not play out wide, so he's out of position. What we consider out of position, playing as an 8. Eye test was part of the goal that as they scored, obviously, he was part of the whole build-up for that. Had a couple of other good balls. You mentioned a Klein ball. He put the ball through to Lerma that Lerma missed, should have scored on. I thought today Kamada did the best he could. You mentioned how limited Lerma is. So when Lerma's limited, guy next to him has to be better. And I thought Kamada was. So for me, had a solid game today. So I had no issue today with Kamada. I know people are going to have comments about him, but for me, I thought he was solid today.
Yeah, I mean, overall, that position is still not my favorite for him playing there. But yeah.
Next, the goal scorer, Eze, 6.5 for you, 6 for me. You go first on Ebbs.
He was asking for the ball a lot. I was at the ground, of course. He was asking for the ball a lot. He kept pointing towards the defenders to give it to Riyad, and Riyad give it to him. But it was a bit predictable at times in terms of what we tried to do building up from the back. And that's why Riyad probably had 120 touches or so, which is kind of crazy. Because, we recycled the possession a lot. We kept possession for possession's sake, especially in the first half. But, of course, he scored a goal, which I saw on replay, not live in the flesh, because it took me forever to get into the stadium.
Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah, I was late to the game, but I shouldn't be that late because I normally arrive at the time I do, and yeah, it was just taking forever. I don't know why, but yeah, I missed the goal live in the flesh, but I have seen the goal back. Nice goal. Apart from that, look, he had like 1 or 2 moments, nice link up play, but yeah, overall, it wasn't like, oh, look at Eze, like he's carrying this game forward. He had his moments, and then yeah, in other moments, I don't think it was really his fault. Sometimes we just didn't deliver the ball fast enough. And in the second half, when I think he went a bit more centrally, I don't know, it's down the other side, but he tried to get involved a bit more, and he scored a goal. I think 7 or 8 would be a bit too much. 5 would be too low, especially after the goal. He was creative, but yeah, decent performance.
Yeah, in a match we'll get to Sarr later that we don't have Sarr involved in the game at all. I thought he got the goal, and that's the most important part. In a 1-0 game, you get the goal, and it was a well-taken goal, by the way, so I'll give him credit for that. 86% passing, 58 touches. Didn't really do a lot more. Was fouled the most in the game. I think it was 3 times in the game. But again, he had the key moment, and I'll always give credit to a player who has a key moment in a close game. Could he do more? Yes, but again, today no one's really on it against Doncaster. I mean, Doncaster, that's next game. Stockport. But again, I'm looking ahead, right? But again, he got the goal, so standard 6 for me, and he can do better, but I'm fine with that today. Let's go on to Eze and Sarr. Both gave him a 5. I don't much to say about Sarr except that he was kind of quiet. I mean, didn't do much at all. It's funny, you would think that against a team like Stockport, he had space over the top to run in. He didn't seem to have that space at all. 83% passing, only had 32 touches. I mean, the guy couldn't. I mean, I know he didn't play the whole match, but he was very, very quiet. But your thoughts on Sarr? You were there.
You summed up. Wasn't involved as much. I think the main problem was that we didn't have balls in behind, and we kind of asked him to come a bit deep at times to link up the play, and that for me, that's never really been his game. I think you get the best out of Sarr when he's through on goal, and he has that space behind, which we just didn't exploit enough, and it comes down to that. There's nothing really much to add about Sarr. Average performance, but it was just down to how he was asked to play.
I agree. Our final starter, the striker Eddie Nketiah. You gave him a 5, I gave him a 4. I'll go first. He lost 12 duels, which is a lot. 85% passing, 2 shots on goal, only 32 touches. I think the effort's there, D, but I'm getting more concerned by game that he's not been able to. Not I say by game, right? Not like he plays all the time. So let me backtrack. I'm getting a little concerned that when he plays as a striker, I'd like to see more. Now, obviously, he played against Arsenal, scored the goal today. Honestly, like when Mateta played against Plymouth last year or 2 years ago, I expected him to get 2, 3 goals today. He didn't get it. Now, there wasn't a lot of service. We just talked about Eze not being involved in the game as much. Kamada in midfield, not creating, but not not overly creating. Sarr not doing much. So he didn't have a lot of opportunities. And I could tell when he didn't get the pass from Lerma, when Lerma missed, he was very frustrated. It would have been a tapping goal. But honestly, not great performance for Nketiah today. What are your thoughts on Nketiah?
I don't think he had a service at times. I mean, I can't remember how many chances he had in front of goal, but yeah, I think physically, he struggled. I think Mateta's better in that element of the game. I think if he had Mateta's strength and then Nketiah playing alongside and running in behind, just like Sarr, to be fair, and getting opportunities, then I think that suits his game a bit more. And he just didn't have them opportunities because we decided to play to feet. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I know there's a lot of agendas around Nketiah. For me, this is another start up front, 90 minutes. That's good. But how many of these has he had throughout the season and consistently? I mean, I don't blame the manager because you got Mateta, but it's just going to be hard, isn't it? We saw Mateta took him ages and he had to play consistently.
Yeah. We had 2 subs today. First, Justin Devaney. No, not much to talk about really, but I thought he had some good moments. He had a chance at the end of the game, almost scored. Perfect passing, 7 for 7. Something I didn't notice, he had the most completed dribbles in the game, which is 3. And he played 26 minutes, which is good. But your thoughts on Devaney? Again, he's a good sub, but what do you think about him today?
Yeah, he was running about. He's trying to get involved. He was not scared to put his body on the line as well. But apart from that, there isn't really much to add. I don't know what else to say about Devaney.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that's what I'm saying about these ratings. Like, this game wasn't a game where there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, it was pretty simple. Defenders struggled. Midfielders, one could have done better in attack. One was all right. And then, especially with the front three, we didn't have enough runs in behind. Like, it's a simple game to analyze, to be fair, in my opinion. You're mute.
Sorry. Sorry, Schluppy. You gave him a 5, I gave him a 5.5. My only thing with him is that if he's our left wing back sub, we have issues. This is not anti-Schlupp thing, but why is Schlupp coming on for left wing back? Honestly, this has to end. He did anything wrong. He drove the ball forward a couple of times, got a cross in, but Schlupp cannot be our backup left wing back option after Klein. It just doesn't work. But again, your thoughts on Schlupp?
Yeah. You said it yourself. There's no other thoughts. He's cup tied, I guess, if he was to leave. But I thought he was going to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing, right?
I don't know if he's going to leave. because apparently France is out injured. Well, it doesn't really directly go to
That's
Jeffrey Schlupp.
nothing to do with him.
But yeah. Look, he's not. I'd still probably rather him at left wing back than Klein because I guess he has a left foot, so he can put the balls into the box. But yeah, what did he do today? What can we talk about with Schlupp's performance? Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Exactly. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Lastly, the manager, Glasner. Both game is 7. I'll go first. My only issue was the lineup. I'd have liked to see Kapora at right wing back, even though Munoz played fine. I'd like to see Devaney start because I thought against Stockport, that's a good test for them. That aside, I thought tactically we dominated possession. He went with a pretty strong lineup, which is fine, and we won the game. So I'm winning the next round. But my only issue is again just the kids more. But that aside, there's nothing else he could really done today. I like the fact he started Turner over, even though he was sick. Turner for me needs the minutes. That was good, and Riyad, but solid by him. What are your thoughts on Glazer as we wrap up?
Yeah, we're through to the next round. That's great. As I said, it wasn't like a brilliant performance from the team. Maybe that's down to individuals rather than tactics. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was like I can't give him a 5 because I don't think there was anything in particular that really stood out like tactically. And I can't give him a 10 because I don't think their performance overall as a team wasn't that great. I guess that's down to players not playing with each other, players not having loads of 90 minutes, which comes down to Chadi Riyad and Nketiah, etc. So yeah, that's where we are. We're through to the next round. That's all that matters. And we've got Doncaster, which is a favourable draw. So we take that. It's a good day.
100%. Listen, we'll take the win. We'll take the advance to the next round, and we go on to Doncaster. I must say Stockport again. Doncaster. Anyway, as it says there, please remember to like, subscribe. We appreciate your support. That's the ratings for Stockport. We will have a preview show for Leicester, I'm guessing, Dee, coming up. What's your thoughts on what we're doing?
That's a very good question. Content? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. We need to talk. We need to talk. But yeah, I forgot that it was like a midweek game. So yeah, we need to sort that out. But we should be having it. Yeah, hopefully soon.
All right then. Until next time. Up the Palace.